Before we get started, Buckeye Nation, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the family right here on the channel so you never miss breaking Ohio State football news, recruiting updates, transfer portal moves, and exclusive Buckeye talk all season long. If you love Ohio State football, this is the place to be. Now let's get into it. Ohio State football has been riding the wildest roller coaster of the offseason, with players coming and going through the transfer portal, NFL decisions hanging in the air, and uncertainty surrounding several key starters. Buckeye fans have been refreshing their feeds non-stop, waiting for clarity on who is staying and who is leaving. And today, one of the biggest questions has finally been answered. Defensive end Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is officially coming back to Columbus for one more season. That decision is massive, not just big, massive. Because at a time when Ohio State's defense is undergoing major turnover, getting back a proven pass rusher, a veteran presence, and a rising star is exactly what Ryan Day and defensive coordinator Jim Knowles needed. This move stabilizes the defensive front, sends a message to the locker room, and gives the Buckeyes a leader they can rally around heading into the 2026 season. Now let's talk about what this really means, because the impact of Kenyatta Jackson Jr. returning goes far beyond a simple roster update. First, the timing matters. Ohio State's defense just came off one of the most dominant seasons in school history. The 2025 Buckeye defense wasn't just good, it was elite, statistically dominant, and feared across the country. But with greatness comes departures. Several starters are gone, some to the NFL, others through the portal, and suddenly that historically strong unit is facing a rebuild, or at least a reload. That's why Kenyatta Jackson Jr. choosing to return is such a critical win. In the middle of chaos, Ohio State gets stability. Jackson arrived in Columbus as a highly rated prospect with loads of potential, but like many young defensive linemen at Ohio State, he had to wait his turn. In 2023 and 2024, he played in a rotational role, learning the system, adding strength, and refining his technique behind veteran starters. He wasn't the headline name yet, but coaches knew what was coming. Then in 2025, the light came on. With a starting job secured on the edge opposite Caden Curry, Jackson finally got the chance to show what he could do with full-time reps, and he delivered. Over the course of the season, he became one of the most disruptive players on the defense, racking up 28 total tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 6.5 sacks, constantly collapsing pockets, forcing quarterbacks off their spots, and setting the edge in the run game. Those numbers earned him all Big Ten honorable mention honors, but more importantly, they earned him something else, NFL attention. By the end of the season, Jackson had already received a Day 2 NFL draft grade, meaning he was viewed as a potential second or third round pick. That's real money. That's life-changing opportunity. And that's why this decision wasn't guaranteed. He could have gone. Many players would have gone. But instead, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. made the decision to bet on himself. He chose to return to Ohio State, chase a championship, polish his game, and push his draft stock even higher. That tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. This isn't just a football decision, it's a leadership decision. And speaking of leadership, Ohio State desperately needs it right now. This 2026 defense will look very different. The talent is still there, but the experience is not. Young players will be asked to grow up fast, new starters will be learning on the fly. And that's where Jackson's presence becomes invaluable. He's been through the system. He's seen the grind, he's lived the culture, and now he becomes one of the anchors of the defense, not just by production, but by example. Another intriguing part of this story is the visual that accompanied his announcement. When Jackson revealed his return, the graphic showed him wearing jersey number 2, a significant change from the number 97 he has worn since arriving at Ohio State. Now if you know Ohio State history, you know number 2 carries weight. That number has been worn by legends and stars, players like Chris Carter, J.K. Dobbins, Mike Doss, Caleb Downs, and of course, Chase Young, the standard for elite Buckeye pass rushers. Seeing Jackson in that number isn't just a style change, it's a statement. It suggests confidence. It suggests expectation. It suggests he's ready to be that guy on the defense. And if you think about it, the comparison makes sense. Chase Young used his final year at Ohio State to go from great to generational. He dominated games, took over moments, and became a top NFL draft pick. No one is saying Jackson has to be Chase Young, but the blueprint is there. Another year in the system, another year of development, and a chance to be the focal point of the pass rush could push him into the first-round conversation. That's why this return is such a win for Ohio State. From a schematic standpoint, it gives Jim Knowles flexibility. From a leadership standpoint, it gives the locker room direction. From a recruiting standpoint, it sends a message to future Buckeyes that development at Ohio State pays off. And from a fan standpoint, it gives everyone something to be excited about. Because make no mistake, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is about to be the face of this defensive line. The Buckeyes are going to need him to do more than just rush the passer. He'll be asked to set the tone, to mentor younger players, to handle double teams, and to be the emotional spark in big moments. And based on his decision to return, it's clear he's ready for that responsibility. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Ohio State's goal every single year is simple: beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and compete for a national championship. You cannot do that without elite defensive line play. Games are won in the trenches, and Jackson returning makes sure Ohio State isn't starting from scratch. This defense may not look exactly the same in 2026, but with Kenyatta Jackson Jr. leading the charge, it has a chance to be just as dangerous. And Buckeye fans should be excited, because this story is far from finished. This is a player who could have left, but chose to stay. A player who could have cashed in, but chose to compete. A player who could have played it safe, but chose to chase greatness. That's the type of mindset you want in your locker room. So Buckeye Nation, drop a comment below and let me know how you feel about Kenyatta Jackson Jr. returning for another season. Do you think he can take the next step and become a first-round pick? Do you think Ohio State's defense will still be elite in 2026? And what do you think about that possible jersey number change? Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking Ohio State football news. We've got you covered all offseason long.